the UFC legend Urijah Faber. He can not only twerk his butt chin, he can also fight like a madman, and he is revolutionizing the sport of MMA actively like no other. Why that is in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum, Dagestan.
Urijah Faber may have never won a UFC title, but he definitely had an incredible career. Now, I personally feel like listening to a lot of podcasts recently where he took part on, he was a guest on, that he probably is achieving more outside of the UFC, like as a retired guy now, than he did inside the UFC, which is such a big achievement just because I just mentioned how successful his UFC career was. I mean, he fought for the belt several times. He was a big part in the building of the lighter weight divisions and the whole come up of them. But now, since he's retired, he's not officially retired though. He said on the Jackson podcast that he is actually still in the testing pool and he's still kind of, how should I say that? He's not actively trying to get matched up, but he says he's there for like if someone has to pull out and he has to like step in short notice, whatever, or something like that, and it's for a really good paycheck, for a really meaningful fight or something, he's down. Which I don't really understand. I don't think the UFC will ever come back to him with that. Like, I don't think the UFC is like, hey, yeah, I don't know, you fight for the title now or something, you know what I mean? Or we pay you a shit ton of money now, because like, he is retired in my opinion. But anyways, that's not the topic of this video. So Urijah Faber is a businessman now. He has the Team Alpha Male gym, which is one of the biggest gyms, especially for the lighter weight class like Bantamweight. They have a lot of standout athletes, just like Song Yadong, for example. I mean, he really built an empire in a phenomenal gym. He's a phenomenal coach. I never heard a bad word about him by anyone. He also manages fighters. He's also a manager now.
Oh, you're a
manager. Manager, especially for fighters that train under his banner, under Team Alpha Male banner. He managed them as well. Plus, to get to his first thing that I heard of, his first business venture that is really cool, he is a big part or a big investor or owner, better said, of this, I butcher the name now, I don't know, RoboCop Jiu-Jitsu machine. Like, you know those Jiu-Jitsu dummies? You probably have seen them on Instagram. I think Connor ordered one. I think even Gordon Ryan trained with one stuff. Like, Jiu-Jitsu dummies that they have like AI inside and they actually move with you and they actually try to behave like a real training partner. They actually tap. I think there's like a red light coming up once the airflow would go out, like once they would go out if they would be a real human. Just like amazing science behind it, amazing new creative way of revolutionizing a sport. You know, like for everyone that trains Jiu-Jitsu, you would only dream of that, right? I mean, that's amazing if you don't have a training partner with you right now. And we all know how normal Jiu-Jitsu dummies are, yeah, they're okay, but it's just never the same. So that's the first thing that I heard. I was like, damn, he starts to be a real businessman. That's such a smart thing to do. That's such a smart idea, and that could really be a big thing.
You're the smart person on the earth, bro.
I mean, that could really be something that every gym needs in the future, but I think they're still developing the final version of it. But anyways, the big thing that I want to talk about is, he said it on the Jackson podcast. He also said it on Ariel Helwani's show, I think, a little back, but no one really talked about it. So I thought I have to talk about this. Urijah Faber, and if I butcher any information here, I'm sorry. My CTE brain sometimes can't recall everything I heard perfectly, but he's working together with the Sacramento College, and he literally, like, if you're not an American just like me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Americans, the college in America has like a wrestling academy, I think even soccer academy, a American football academy, whatever. So while you're in college, and in high school as well, but we talk about college here, while you're in college, you can train in a football team and kind of pave your way to become a professional football player. Like the college football teams are pretty big, and that's where all the pro NFL stars start, right? So you do that while you're in college studying. It's an official funded thing. I don't think you pay to play then. The same thing he's doing with MMA now, which is something I always thought of, like, why is this not happening? But it's probably hard to get a state to say, hey, yeah, let's take the violent sport of MMA and let our college kids do that, funded by us. But Sacramento now is doing that together with Urijah Faber. He initiated it. I think the chief, who is like, I don't know, of the Sacramento state or whatever, is training Urijah Faber's gym and stuff. That's how this came together. And now people in the Sacramento college, who go to Sacramento college, can be in the MMA program. So they train, I think it is in Urijah Faber's gym, but he's talked about he has special coaches just for these college guys. So they have like a college MMA team kind of. And all they do is go to college, study, and train MMA. Sponsored by the Sacramento College and Urijah Faber. And this is so amazing. You know how much talent will come out of that? You know how much freaking talent will come out of that program. And that's so amazing that Urijah Faber is doing stuff like that. That is really revolutionizing the sport and helping the sport to grow a lot, make it bigger. And he said, yeah, it's not like college versus college, because other colleges don't even have that program. It's not like the basketball teams, they play against other colleges. They can then compete while they're in college in LFA, in CFFC, you name it, and can also make their way to the UFC. They could potentially, if they're good enough, fight in the UFC while they're in college, all backed up by a program. This is so incredibly amazing.
They're nice.
And so beneficial for the growth of the sport and for the, just to push the talent, to see new levels of the sport. This will be absolutely tremendous and will also help starting that in other states probably, because if once a state starts with it, the same with the weed legalization.
I gotta smoke the weed.
Other states have it easier to then say, hey, you know what, that's going pretty well, that looks good, we'll also do that. And that will bring the whole sport of MMA to a whole new level and surface. So write your opinion in the comments, guys, about Urijah Faber as a businessman, as a fighter, which career is going better, the businessman career or the fighter career. Write it in the comments, you guys would appreciate that. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much in advance. Check out the Bloodsport merch. Stay bloody, and I'll till the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.